Hi everyone, my name is Anna and welcome to my sewing channel. In today's video I want to show you how to stitch a man t-shirt. I have a ready to sew pattern which you can download from my website. Click shop patterns and choose the desired pattern. Add it to the cart and go to your basket. Proceed to payment method and after that you will receive PDF file to your email address. So let's get started. For this project you will need 1 meter of the cotton spandex fabric and 4 bobbin threads. Here is the close-up look of the fabric. It has a lot of stretch to each direction. Also the fabric itself is kinda stiff because of the cotton content. But I like that about this fabric because garment will keep a good shape after it's made. Make sure to decotize fabric before cut so it shrinks before your garment is being made. I traced my pattern to the fabric using chalk and now I'm cutting out details. And here is all my details. Back detail, front detail, 1 pair of sleeves, neckline collar, and also back neckline binding. Take the back detail and place front detail on top with waist side inside. Match the shoulder seams and pin. Then stitch both shoulder seams. Fold seam allowance towards back and press shoulder seams. Take the neckline collar and fold it in half, then press it with iron. Join ends together and pin. Then stitch it. Fold detail in half again and turn seam allowance to opposite directions to avoid thickness. Join collar seam with shoulder seam and pin the rest of the collar inside the neckline. Make sure to stretch collar and shrink neckline. The collar needs to be really stretched because it has to lay flat and not stick out. After everything pinned, stitch the neckline. Lay neckline flat on an ironing board and try to press neckline flat as possible. Now we need to cover back neckline seam allowance so it looks nice and neat. I'm taking the neckline binding detail and folding edge by 0.5 cm. Attaching it to the seam allowance with face side down. Then pin it to the seam. Stitch binding covering the seam. Make an edge stitch to fix seam allowance in place. Turn binding over the seam allowance to hide it. Take a hand needle with thread and take the binding. Carefully trim back the binding excess. Take binding to the back panel so it doesn't move while stitching. Then make a final stitch at the edge of the binding to keep it in place. Using tailor's pressing hand, press the neckline. Matching sleeve front with a t-shirt front, place sleeve to the armhole starting with center of the sleeve and shoulder seam. Once both sleeves pinned, stitch them in with sleeve side up. Using tailor's pressing hem, press seam allowance towards t-shirt. Pin side seams together, matching all seams and edges. Once both sides pinned, stitch them with front side up. Turn side seam allowance towards back and press it on a tailor's pressing hem for convenience. On the sleeve edge, mark 2 cm and mark another 2 cm from existing line. Fold twice following those lines and pin all over the sleeve bottom. Divide sleeve in half and mark it with chalk. Divide those halves again and mark as well. Make 4 back stitches to keep sleeve hem in place. And don't forget to press it. And here's how it should look like. Mark 2 cm on the t-shirt bottom. Fold following the drawn line, pin hem all the way around. Make a double stitch using twin needle. I'm changing my regular needle to this double needle and putting one more thread to my existing one. Don't forget to press the hem. And here is the finished stitch. And here is how my t-shirt turned out. If you want to make t-shirt like this one, visit my website Anna the Tailor or Etsy shop to purchase the ready-to-sew pattern in 5 range of sizes. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!